Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we're going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Miguel was never paralyzed during the events of Cobra Kai Season 2? So in this timeline, the events of Cobra Kai Season 2 would still happen, the school fight would still happen in this timeline, Miguel and Robbie would still be fighting on top of the balcony, and much like in the original timeline, Miguel would still pin Robbie on the ground, but he would remember what Johnny told him about showing mercy, so Miguel would still show mercy to Robbie, but Robbie would still get angry, and he would still attack Miguel. Miguel would still be taken by surprise, but in this timeline, he would be able to defend himself, and he would be able to fight back. So Robbie wouldn't kick Miguel off the balcony in this timeline, and Miguel would never be paralyzed. The fight between Miguel and Robbie would continue. This is when the police would come, and they would break up the fight, and the events of Season 2 would carry on. Daniel and Johnny would still find out about the fight, and they would be mad. Johnny would be mad at the Cobra Kais for starting the school fight, and he would decide to kick Tori out of Cobra Kai. Miguel would be conflicted seeing Tori leave. Robbie would still be living with Johnny. Miguel and Robbie would still see each other, and their rivalry would continue. The students would still be suspended for 2 weeks, and they would eventually go back to school, and the rivalry between Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai would resume. Robbie wouldn't be expelled in this timeline, and he would continue hanging out with the Miyagi-Dos. Robbie would eventually go back to Miyagi-Do, and Danny would apologize to Robbie for how he acted, so Robbie would go back to the LaRussos, and the events of Season 3 would carry on. Miguel would want to visit Tori at her house, but Tori wouldn't want to talk to Miguel, so Miguel and Tori would still break up. Miguel would continue his training, and he would become even stronger. Danny would want to get back to Cobra Kai for starting the school fight, and the rivalry between Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do would continue. Carice would eventually come back, and he would retake Cobra Kai. Johnny would fight back, but Carice would sue Johnny, so Carice would kick Johnny out of Cobra Kai, but many of the students would go with Johnny, including Miguel and Hawk. So Johnny would still form Eagle Fang in this timeline, and the events of Season 3 would continue. Carice would still get Kyler and his friends, so they would still join Cobra Kai in this timeline. There would still be a rivalry between the three dojos. Cobra Kai would want to mess with Eagle Fang, but Kyler would still be afraid of Miguel. Those events would stay the same. Carice would still want to get Tori back in Cobra Kai, but in this timeline, Tori would refuse, and she wouldn't go back to Cobra Kai. Season 3 would be pretty uneventful. The house fight wouldn't happen in this timeline, and the events of Season 4 would carry on. Kenny would still be bullied by Anthony, but in this timeline, Kenny wouldn't go to Robbie, and he wouldn't join any dojo. The dojos would start training for the All Valley, but they would all train separately. Carice wouldn't get Terry Silver in this timeline. The All Valley would still have mixed gender divisions, so Eagle Fang would still want to get some female students, and without Terry Silver in this timeline, Piper would join Eagle Fang. The night of the All Valley, the three dojos would compete, and they would still advance in their matches. Hawk and Robbie would have a rematch in the semifinals. It would be a close match, but Robbie would defeat Hawk, and he would advance to the finals. Miguel would fight Kyler, and he would easily defeat him, so Miguel and Robbie would be fighting in the finals. Robbie would use defense, while Miguel used offense. It would be a close match, but since Miguel was never injured, he would get the upper hand. Miguel would defeat Robbie in this timeline, and he would be the two-time All-Valley champion. And in the girls' finals, Sam would fight Piper, but since Sam had more training, she would defeat Piper, so she would be the girls' All-Valley champion. But overall, Eagle Fang would win, and they would be the All-Valley champions. The Eagle Fangs would celebrate, and Johnny would be happy. Season 4 would be pretty uneventful. The dojos would continue to operate, and Season 5 would be pretty uneventful. And that is where I'm gonna end this What If. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Miguel was never paralyzed during the events of Cobra Kai Season 2? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.